Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street. Alchemy Pay update here, that is ACH on the exchange. You can see on the screen right now, hopefully you can see these numbers. So just taking this from a Twitter post from, well, it's actually retweeted by Alchemy Pay, to be fair, it's from Crypto Deck. So top financial services coins by market capitalization. So this was taken from the 26th of October. Alchemy Pay has made it into the top 10 here. So that is really interesting to see. Of course, there's massive companies or projects in that list as it is. Of course, Utrust being quite good there right at the bottom as well. Celsius, I know quite well. The CeeLo as well. I think BitBoy may have covered that one probably 8-9 months ago. I can't remember, but possibly longer than that. Crypto.com is a massive exchange I use, and of course everyone's familiar with Ripple XRP's potential and what it's capable of in the world. So it's amongst some really good big names there. VGX is actually one that we wanted to do a video on, I think next week actually. But yeah, Alchemy Pay is something we kept an eye on for a while. It's something that someone mentioned in our People Crypto episode, which we haven't done for a couple of weeks, by the way, because I've been a bit under the weather. But I just thought I'd throw this out there. So thank you, Crypto Debt, for that analysis there. But I thought before we dipped into the charts, just give you an indication of where it's been. Obviously, it's on a bit of a small downward trend the last few days. We'll cover that in a second. But yeah, it's growing up in that chart there for sure, and we'll be monitoring that as time goes by. But let's go into the chart, guys. So just to reiterate what we covered in the intro video for Alchemy Pay a couple of weeks ago, look at that, 16,400% take up in gains from the 22nd of July to the 7th of August in such a short space of time. That is absolutely phenomenal, taking from around about a price of one tenth of a cent all the way up to this high here of 13.8 cents, I think it was. So the all-time high currently, I believe, is floating around this 19.73. Sorry, the 13. I don't know what I was talking about there. So that is where we got to try and get to, hopefully, maybe in this run coming up in the next few months. But let's take this back to a macro level, more importantly, to see what we've been doing quite recently. So currently floating around 6.5 cents. We are 4% up on the week. 3 months we are up 1,000%, but that is arguably possibly entailing the tail end of that. So I'm not looking too excited about that, albeit that that's still a fantastic opportunity that has been taken by many, I'm sure, who have been holding ACH in their portfolio. And for those that don't know, you can obtain this token in a number of different kind of exchanges. Coinbase, Huobi, I can't ever remember how to say that properly, and Gate. So I think we're still very early actually in this one, in my opinion. I think once this gets onto even more mainstream exchanges, it's going to absolutely fly even further. But right now, we are monitoring essentially a takedown of this massive rise we had, and we're trying to achieve a support level. Now this is very interesting because obviously we've got this gigantic gap between not even 1 cent to this 19-cent mark. So really we've found the price discovery, absolutely, but now it's a question of where are we coming down to. Now a couple of days ago we had the Bitcoin leveraging situation, but the retracement was quite good, certainly yesterday, taking us back up to a high of 6.8 cents. So actually that's really promising in my opinion. It's very much confidence is behind this. There's clearly a lot of volume going in on a daily basis as it is. These kind of projects are really important to the mechanism of crypto and how we buy and sell and use crypto from a fiat perspective in the real world as well. So, like I said, these kind of projects are very early. As things get adopted and more people become aware of the space and how to utilize crypto in the real world infrastructure of payments, it will continue to massively grow in my opinion. So I think this is, obviously would have been amazing to have purchased it at 0.001%, and to have that massive uptake to 20 cents. Could you imagine in your portfolio whether you dumped like $1,000 in there or something and it's increased to like 16,000%. I mean, that's absolutely mental, isn't it? So well played to those people that got in very early and have been for a while now. But for those that are looking into this project at the moment, of course, it is a bit of a tricky one to sort of identify as to what's really going to happen with this. Now, I think in general with the market of crypto, we are moving into more of the what they call the bull run, over the next couple of months. So it would indicate that actually, and especially based on the last couple of days, this infrastructure in place for ACH as a token on the charts is showing some significant interest in trying to hover or float above at least the 5 cent mark. So we had yesterday or 2 days ago the low of 0.045, very much rejected quite quickly. Yesterday we saw a low of 0.047. Today we've had a pullback down. We're sort of like accumulating ourselves, as we just mentioned kind of at the beginning of this chart analysis, of 6.5. So it's really, really interesting. And where are we going next? Well, it all really depends on, in my opinion, the next couple of days of trying to get a mechanism here of support over this 6.35 cent mark. Now, there is obviously clearly some interesting moves here, because this, in my opinion, for a lot of people would have been massive moves for profit taking and taking advantage of dips. Particularly after belief in the project, you've made your money off that. You knew maybe the Bitcoin situation was occurring, or the charts in general across the platform of crypto right now, took advantage of that and then bought back in, because actually, in the grand scheme of things, 2 cents is actually quite a big difference if you're putting in significant volumes, or certainly good volumes, and even if you aren't, and small volume aspect, you're still making good gains. I mean, yesterday, what was it yesterday? I think obviously, like percentage wise, that's quite a big jump really, from the aspect of 4.7 cents to the high of 6.8 cents. That's pretty much 2 cents, right? So that's quite big. And today, obviously, the reflections happen similarly, but we're trying to find that level of support up higher, which is fantastic to see, and can take us to the next levels up as we maybe switch this back. Because obviously we had the switch over here on the MACD on the 26th of October with that big dip down. Arguably, as I've said, for a number of couple 2.5 months now, it has been in a bearish momentum, understandably, from that gigantic leap that it had with that 16,500%, which is absolutely ridiculous to even mention that number in the sentence right now. But we've had this kind of retracement, and we had the dip down, but the retracement's of great interest to me, because it's showing that clearly there's good volume behind this project, and people are trying hard to keep it floating upwards. So yes, we've had the downtrend, but look at this. The volumes are still coming in a positive way, albeit it's tailed down. We had this drop. I do anticipate that to maybe tail down a bit more, but it's going to be fascinating to see if we obtain these kind of support areas now. Now that people have gained more momentum, perhaps being new to the project because they saw the dip and then they maybe FOMO'd in, or sort of been monitoring the situation and thought, wow, that's a big drop, 2 cents, back up we go, made some profits, and then even more confidence is built into the project itself. So that's what I say. I think the next few days will be really interesting to see if we can obtain over that 6.3 mark. If we can do that, we may start pushing ourselves back up to that 6.8 to test the regions that we have done on a few occasions over the last month or so, of course. And what's interesting as well here, back on the 17th, 18th of August, you have these touch points down to pretty much where we are right now. That's why I'm saying that this area is critical. I'm not just saying it because it's there right now. I'm saying it because of historic data here. So on that come down, it had rejection already around this 6.5 to 6.3 cent mark. So we are literally on the verge of discovering whether 6.3 or around this 6 cent mark is going to be support moving us forward. And if it is, that is incredible news, because it means that we'll be maybe floating around this area for a bit before a big push up. And I think once the momentum kicks in and the continuous awareness of Alchemy Pay carries on as well, we could start seeing this kind of intake, but more on a flexible wave system moving upwards in the near future. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll do an update as much as we can. The RSI is moving back up into a positive direction around 53. It's very much in that limbo moment, which confirms our emphasis around this exact point in time as we are speaking, to obtain that 6.3 or above. So guys, let us know if you're holding ACH in your portfolio, what you think is going to be happening in the next few weeks or the next few months. Do you think that we can get to our previous all-time high in the upcoming bull run over the next few months? Or do you think that's a bit, or do you think that the work has been done and we're just continuously going to have an adoption period over the next couple of years before we attack that again? Let us know what you think. I mean, the fib retracement here, based on this kind of algorithm and everything, is suggesting that Alchemy Pay could go upwards towards that 80-85 cent mark. I'm not sure. I'll have to analyze that a bit more detail for the next video, but that's arguably one of the suggestions from the analysis here, taking that low point to the high point. Very interesting. But I think this aspect of scale is probably maybe distracting us a bit from that top end. But let's see, guys. It's very exciting, this project, either way, long term or short term. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next ACH update video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.